Buonasera a tutti. This is a peak moment for Raffaele and me. Behind the birth of the yearbook, there is a lot of work and dedication. Therefore, it is a pleasure and honor to see attending again this year so many friends and important personalities in the classic car field, starting from friend Patrick Rollet, who is the president of FIFA in the first line. Thank you. We wish to thank our main sponsor, Credit Suisse, who has been supporting us for 10 years already. And for your and our tranquility, it will support also for the next 3. We thank also all the 76 other prestigious advertisers. The publication would not have been possible without your support. In 1994, we started to write the Catalogo Bolaffi dell'Automobili da Collezione. From 2006, our company Storica Selecta took over the publishing. We wrote it in English only and renamed it Classic Car Auction Yearbook. This is the 23rd edition, but in total we covered 25 auction seasons. A tradition of the yearbook is to have the top price on the cover. For the 8th time over the 11 yearbooks we published, it is a Ferrari, the 250 GTO, sold in August in Monterey for $48 million, the highest price ever achieved by a car at auction. In 2015, we decided to start the Classic Car Auction Yearbook Award, honoring the auction house with the top sale result. And the winner of the 2017-18 award is RM-Sotheby. Agustin Sabati-Garat is with us today to accept it. This is the award, is the reproduction of the cover of the yearbook. As you know, the cover of the yearbook is always dedicated to the top lot. And this year we cover all the auctions starting from 1st September 2017 until 31st August 2018. This is the most comprehensive yearbook ever, covering 105 auctions held in 11 countries. We listed 5,628 cars of 308 different makers. It is 418 pages and nearly 1,000 photos. We will try to describe what happened in the auction market. You will see that the total turnover, this is in the 4th line, of this season has been a bit over $1.2 billion, which is about 11% more than last year. We had at the beginning of the season a quite cold period after the Ferrari auction in Maranello in September for the 70th anniversary, which took over $70 million. In Scottsdale, Retromobile, Amelia Island, and Monaco, we had many no sales among the top lots of each auction house. The result of the Monterey auctions made the whole season better than it was possible to forecast in the first part of the years. But as usual, there have been some lights and some shadows. The total turnover, in any case, is up in all the 3 currencies. The number of cars offered is practically the same, 5,628. And the sale percentage was stable, 75%. To be precise, it has been 0.31% less. The average price increased by US $30,000. and the number of sales over $1 million increased by 30 cars, returning over the line of 200. Here is the graph of the auction sales in dollars. You see that we are nearly returning to the maximum, which was achieved in 2014-2015. This is the graph, the same graph in euros. And then this is the graph in pound. In this graph, it is visible that looking to the same number from different perspective, that means different currency, the result and impression can vary a lot. From a UK perspective, the 2000 season was the top ever and continued the increasing trend which already started in 2003-2004. This is the percentage of cars sold. It is, as you see, 75%, a bit less than last year, but the number is the same. This is something which gave you the possibility to understand how the different markets are working. You see that the red line is the auction organized in the States. They have been always over 80%, apart a couple of years, 77, 78%, but well over the line of the auctions organized in England and in the EC country. This is the number of cars offered and sold. You see that the number is nearly the same, has been nearly the same in the last 3 seasons. And the number of cars sold is also very good because it's the second highest ever. This is another graph which gave you the possibility to understand why were achieved these important numbers. This line is the line of the car with no reserve. You see that it was nearly 1,000. Then we had the drop when we had the very famous auction in Milan, the 2,000 watt auction, where were offered approximately 300 plus cars without no reserve. And therefore we dropped it at 1.4. And then this year we had 1.6. If you compare this number with the normal number we had the years before, that means that there have been approximately 50-60% more of no-reserve cars offered. This number is the 29% of the total number of cars offered. So therefore, we had nearly 30% of cars already sold before the auction started, and it was about 18% of the total turnover. This is the average price in 3 different currencies. You see the number in red is the dollars, and the number in blue is the euros, and the number in green is the pound. This is the percentage of total turnover for country on total for the season, for the last season. And you will see that we had nearly 64% of cars sold in the States, 12% in UK, 11% in France, and then we have Italy, Monaco, Austria, Belgium, Netherlands, many other European countries. We have only Australia, but is with a very low number. Okay. This is the new graph, which gave you the possibility to understand how the market changed for each country in the last 15 seasons. We are taking the first season is 2003-2004, And we had, at the time, 51% of the sales which were realized in the States, 25% in England, 20% in EEC, and the other small point outside EEC. Probably we are speaking about the auction in Swiss, in Gstaad, and so on. Then you see how was the trend. In the last season, we had 64% of the sales in the States, 12% of the sales in UK, 24% of the sales in Europe. You can understand that the market, the auction market in UK lost nearly half of the weight respect to the others. It passed from 25% to 12%. We can also notice that the sales in European countries, means France, Italy, Monaco, and others, increased for about 20%, because from 20% it passed to 24%. This is the number of cars sold over 1 million. And this year we had 226 cars, 205 over 1 million, 15 from 5 to 10, and 6 cars over $10 million. The market is very pyramidal, because we had in total 226 cars, which cover 51% of the total turnover. And we had the remaining 4,000 cars, which cover 49% of it. This is the cake which show you the total market, and 28% is Ferrari, 11% is Porsche, Mercedes 8%, Aston Martin 6%, and then you see all the others. In total, these are 15 manufacturers. They cover 82%, 81% of the total market. This is the average price for cars. Naturally, we have some years where some sales are influencing a lot the market, like the Duesenberg car, which has been sold for $24 million in Monterey. And so the average for the Duesenberg went to over $3 million. Second is the Bugatti with 1.2, and third is Ferrari with 700,000 US dollars. This is the percentage of sales related to each manufacturers. You see the black line is 75% is the average of the market. We have some manufacturers like Ford, Packard, Chevrolet, Mercedes, which were well over this 75%. And we had some other like Lamborghini, Maserati, Aston Martin, and Ferrari, which were in the 50s and 60%. We have a very different situation for each make. For example, if we take the 250 GTL, we had 5 cars offered, 5 cars sold, so the sale percentage was 100%. 250 California, 2 cars offered, 2 cars sold, was 100%. This is a graph which shows the period of manufacturing of each cars, starting from the antique, the veteran, the vintage. The total turnover for each period in percentage on the total. For example, the veteran were 22 million as turnover, and was nearly 2% of the total. And the third line shows the percentage of sale of these cars. And strangely, we have the older car, which are well over the percentage of the 75%, which is 89, 85, 84, and 80%. The classics, which are the car built in the period 46-64, are a bit over with 76%. The post-classic are a bit below with 73%. The modern are also the same number. And the contemporary, which means the cars built over 2000, is 73%. This is a graph which shows the average per year of manufacturing of the car offered. Here is, as usual, is a graph which shows for each year of sale, the first line is 1993-1994, how cars were offered of Rolls-Royce, for example, 131 cars, sold 66, 50% of sale, the total turnover for Rolls-Royce, the percentage on the total turnover, 10%, and the average value. And here is Rolls, and here is Porsche. That gave an idea how it changed the market. You see that in 1993-1994, Rolls-Royce was 10%, and last year it has been 1.25% in total. You see that Porsche, we started from less than 1% in 93-94, and we arrived to nearly 11% this year. This is the average price achieved by some iconic car. I show you the Ferrari F40 because it has the only one which in dollars had the average price which is the top ever in its history. You see that these are the number of cars offered each season and the percentage of sale. Last year they were offered 10 cars and sold 7, therefore 70%. And this is the total turnover for the model. Auction case of the year. We had several contenders, I have to say. And one was the Jaguar XK 140 by Michelotti, which did a very high price in Monaco. The other was the Swedish 300 SL Roadster. And we had the BMW 507, John Surtees car. We chose the Surtees car because it is an homage we wanted also to give to this great sportsman. This car includes history, provenance, and preservation. Offered with a £2.5 million estimate, well over the market price for a production car, it was sold for more than 3.8 million, which I bet will remain for years the record price for the model. The price normally have been down from average 20 to 30% if you consider the peak price achieved in the past. At the end of the yearbook, as usual, we have the photos of the top 5 for each season, the top 5 for the 12 leading manufacturers, the top 20 since 1993-1994. These are the numbers. Naturally, there are also more numbers in the book, and every one of you could play with them in order to make your own statistics. The market is still digesting the rise of price reached in the 2014-2015 season. At the high end of the market, the buyers are still at the window, and the sellers are not willing to burn their cars. To convince them, the auction houses need to supply them a guarantee, as happened in the case of the Ferrari 250 GTO and Aston Martin DP 215. For the least significant car, auction houses accept mostly no-reserve cars, which will find a new garage only if the condition matched the price expectation of the buyers. It is a buyer's market. still a buyer's market. The buyers are examining more than before the condition and history of the car. This is good for the medium-long term of the market. I am never tiring to repeat that classic cars are very different from shares or bonds. Each one is different. And with the increasing cost for restoration, the condition and history is more important than ever. As every collectible market, also our market can be influenced by external factors as Brexit, the elimination of the Internal Revenue Code Section 1031 exchange, which for the people who are not aware of the US rules, gave the possibility to move ahead the payment of tax over the profit of the cars, which is no more running in the States now, and the fear of import duties. We have also some good news. We had a new exhibition in Basel called the Grand Basel, which will be moved to Miami and Hong Kong next year. And we have also new concours d'élégance in Hong Kong and Singapore. Our goal is to help you to understand the market better and supply a tool for all the professionals. We hope we achieved this goal again. Thank you for your attention.